YouTube Wardog message over. Welcome back, guys, girls, and everybody else, to part 9 of our Bromhead Dynasty. A dynasty founded by myself as a time traveller, but I am now dead. And my son, Ecgberht the Stumbler, is now in charge of the family lands. Now, Ecgberht has, in the last episode, made himself a duke as he created the Duchy of East Anglia, because we have Cambridge, Norfolk, and, well, we didn't have Suffolk at the time, but the king has placed the Earl of Suffolk under our domainship, rulership. I don't know what he would be. He's our vassal. His vassalage has been granted to us. Now, I had a little bit of a think about what kind of a man Duke Ecgberht is and what he's likely to be doing, mostly because I wanted to be able to tell you guys ahead of time, just in case you think, like, maybe that's not really for me. I think because he's diligent, we're going to look to focus on building up our holdings. That doesn't mean we won't declare any wars at all, but Earl Thomas was in a position where he had to fight wars because he started off in some against the Norse invaders in Jorvik and Suthayar, and then kind of needed to take some territory to secure his position, which Ecgberht doesn't really need to do. So because he's diligent, we're going to look to build up our holdings. Because he's fickle, I'm actually also going to tie that in, and he's going to build up his holding, his main holding. But he's also going to kind of just jump around and be like, oh, I'm going to build something here. Oh, I'm going to build something here. Oh, I'm going to build something here. So we're going to be doing a lot of building, at least at the beginning with Ecgberht, and then we'll see how the situation kind of develops. So off we go with part 9 here. Our liege won their war against Jarl Grettir, so they've taken part of Ireland now. Part of Ireland belongs to England. England is quite sizable. Petition liege, we're not going to do that. I am relaxing in my castle at the end of the day when my son and heir Ecgberht comes in, visibly distressed. Your steward, Prince Aelfweard, is such a nuisance, he exclaims. He is always going on and on about how I'm unfit to succeed you. He thinks I'm too humble to be the next Duke of East Anglia. I will talk to Prince Aelfweard about this, because I'm trusting, so I'm going to trust that he's going to understand where I'm coming from. I arrange a meeting with Prince Aelfweard to discuss his problem with my son and heir Ecgberht. It is quite simple, Duke Ecgberht. I do not like the idea of having a humble liege. For the good of the realm, I am willing to make my displeasure known, even if it means putting myself at risk. But what about his good qualities? After talking with Prince Aelfweard, he decided to try and make amends with Ecgberht, focusing on what they have in common instead of their differences. This change of heart is quite promising. This bodes well for the future. Hey! And we can now unlock a new lifestyle perk. We are going down the family hierarchy. And I think we'll go with Groomed to Rule first of all. So Ecgberht gained 3 martial, Birgerid gained 3 stewardship, and Thomas gained 2 diplomacy. Lovely. When can we change this next? Because we need to remember that. 919. I don't change it immediately. I let it finish whichever one it's doing. But then, like, as soon as it's possible to change it, when I'm playing a fickle character, I tend to change it. In fact, I always change it unless I forget. Ecgberht is not the only one trying to win my approval. More and more often I am approached by my Chancellor, Mayor Adelaide, and her compliments have gone from polite to intimate. Why are these old women all chasing Ecgberht? But tonight at dinner, Mayor Adelaide drank too much and puked on my dress. My dress? Without wasting a second, Ecgberht swooped in to save me from the mess. Interesting. We are trusting, so we're going to say, oh, Ecgberht, how heroic. Trusting is not necessarily naive, but it kind of is. Of all the buffoonery I have ever seen, in Mayor Adelaide's inane efforts to improve my relations with my neighbours, my good-for-nothing Chancellor has officially acknowledged Jarl Thorbjorn's claim to the Earldom of Lindsey. You're supposed to make me friends, not enemies. That's not good. Now he has a claim on our primary holding. I can scarce remember what my life was like before Ecgberht declared her love for me. I am flattered, but also overwhelmed by her attentions. I find myself longing for some peace and quiet. Yet I cannot help but worry. Would I be throwing away my only prospect of true love? This cannot be right, can it? We're gonna say she deserves a kiss at least for her devotion. Because we're fickle. Like, we're trusting, so we've let her go this far, but we're fickle, we're not really interested in it. So we'll give her a kiss. Crash! Where am I? What's going on? I peer into the darkness, my eyes adjusting. God! There is someone by my bedroom window. I scramble out of bed and run for the door, but the intruder is faster. She grabs my arm, tugs, and I fall. Before I can scream, a hand is covering my mouth. Listen closely, Duke. If you do what I say, no one will get... Her words turn into a gurgle as a dagger plunges deep into her neck. Ecgberht, are you all right? I recognize that voice anywhere. My saviour is none other than Ecgberht. We share one kiss, sweet like honey. How strong is he? Pretty strong. Your counsellor Adelaide died from being ill. She was also 70 though. The best man for the job is Reeve Aethelgifu of Retford. She will be our new Chancellor. I think because I stumble upon my vassal Reeve Seward crouching beside my dog Snow, vigorously scratching her stomach. This dog of yours is quite the charmer, my lord. She is a good girl. I think because of the threat of Jorvik now, with them having a claim on Lindsey, we're going to try and save up a war chest so we'll be able to get some mercenaries if they do declare war on us. I mean, we would still need a lot. Attacking Jorvik conquest of the Mormaerdom of Ross. Oh, up there. Wow, okay. We finished increased county control. We're going to make sure that we need to restore some control in Lindsey, actually. So we're just going to continue with trying to build up the realm of East Anglia. We don't have any claims. To my vassal, as an influential duke, it is only fair you have a voice on my council. In recognition of this fact, I hereby offer you the position of Chancellor of England. We would actually, that's the best position he could give us. We have 17 in diplomacy. So, yeah, we will definitely take that. Once I have departed this world, my son and heir Ecgberht shall rule in my stead. Unfortunately, rumours of Ecgberht's unending grudges have been spreading around my court. It makes me wonder if he will manage to retain my vassal's support once I am gone. Right, we are trusting, diligent and fickle. Ecgberht is humble, impatient, and vengeful. Trusting, diligent. I think we would trust that he will do a good job, so we will talk up his good qualities instead. Now, our Bishop John is still terrible. However, we wouldn't really have Oh, Derby's already converted apparently, and as has Cambridgeshire. So I guess then... Oh, hello. Greetings, Duke Ecgberht of East Anglia. Your steward, Prince Aelfweird, has slain my sister Benmeath in a dishonest brawl. I demand satisfaction for this slight. Oh dear. Whatever it takes to make this well again. Right, we're going to send our bishop, it's going to take him 26 years because of how bad he is, to convert the people of Norwich back to Catholicism. They are the only ones in our realm. The Anglo-Saxon culture has embraced the medicinal herbalists tradition. So that means they gain herbalist more often, and it has additional bonuses. Cool. Because Ecgberht is diligent, like, he wants his people to be united. We're trying to increase control. That's part of what's going to make Norfolk, you know, less controlled. And he's trusting, so even though he's got a terrible bishop, he's still going to trust him to do the job, because he doesn't know he's terrible. Ethelberg, the daughter of my Chancellor Reeve Aethelgifu, has given birth to a daughter. This is Thomas's daughter. We will name her after Ethelberg's mother, so Aethelgifu. Lovely. My vassal Reeve Aethelrith approaches me, rage in her eyes and dog in her hand, dragged along by the scruff of its neck. As she reaches me, I see that it is my dear Snow she is holding. I found this beast amongst my things. What wasn't chewed to bits was covered in excrement. I'll compensate you. Oh wait, it's 9:19. Ecgberht and Prince Aethelweard's relationship may have started out as one of animosity and spite, but under my guidance they learned how to understand and trust each other. Careful fostering of these attributes has led to the creation of a strong friendship between them. I knew we could all work it out. They've become friends. Lovely. Well, we're going to finish the one we're on, but then I think we need to switch our focus. A little bit slower now, less wars and stuff. I hope that's okay. I do worry that, like, when I stream on Twitch and stuff, that if there's ever moments or periods where there's not much going on, that people will get bored. I hope that's not the case. Delicate affairs. Reeve? Is it Reeve or Reeve? We're going to go with Reeve. Reeve Aethelgifu has been of real help in the past few days, aiding me in my efforts to strengthen the realm's ties with our neighbours. She has just offered herself again to help me gain Jarl Thorbjorn's trust. It is so hard to find someone one can truly rely on these days. We're trusting, so we're going to say, I shall remember your kindness. She becomes our friend, and he likes us a bit more, apparently. You learned of John's lover secret. Bishop John has a male lover. My spy master. Wait, what? No, wait, hold on. Is that right? No, my spy master's not his lover. His lover is Gwenhwyfar. Interesting. As my eyes meet Rave Gwerthils for what feels like the 20th time tonight, I know I am not imagining things. Even from the other end of the table, her gaze feels as intense as the midday sun. She wants me, and I can feel my body responding, awakening. But Reeve Siweard, her husband and my vassal, is also here tonight. I'm mostly looking at trusting here. He's quick to place his faith in others. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's a bad person. He's fickle. You know what? We'll give her a good tumble. Afterwards, Gwerthil falls to the mattress with a thump, her breath ragged and eyes half closed. Languorously, I wipe the sweat of her chest with gentle fingers. That should say off, surely. Merely a moment later, Gwerthil pushes my hand away with an apologetic smile. It is nearly morning. I better leave. Indeed, you better hurry. Okay, and we can get a lifestyle perk, so we will go with Befriend. And then we're going to switch it because we're fickle. I think a stewardship focus makes sense. We are doing things to develop our realm. So we'll go for a domain focus. We'll probably get architect first and then maybe go into administrator. Oh. Our son Ecgberht has had a daughter, it just didn't tell us that he'd had one. She's visiting somebody else's court, and unfortunately she's feeble. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares, if my lord has the coin. The merchant's stall is positively brimming with baubles and haberdasheries. As a skilled purveyor of fine goods, a couple of trinkets catch my eye in the overflow of knickknacks. The detail of this bauble intrigues me. Your haggling skills were poor. Okay. Wait, when did we get items? The Welsh Gospel of Judas. Interesting. And we've become the owner of a sponge on a stick, which is the new one. That's what we just got from the market. Well, we'll equip that. Why not? Sponge on a stick has low durability. Not really. It's just only got a 10-year lifespan. It has become a habit to walk snow daily. and I am not sure which of us enjoy the fresh air and sun the most. Snow bounds ahead and looks back at me and barks as if to say, "Catch up!" And on we walk. County control probably needs increasing. Let's move down to Cambridgeshire. I want to build up about maybe even 400 gold before we... beyond that, before we start building things. There is no longer the slightest doubt in my mind. Reeve Gwerthil, the wife of my vassal Reeve Siwyd, has given birth to a daughter, and we both know that I am her father. Thankfully, Gwerthil has kept quiet about me, and no one else knows the truth. At least for now. Good. We're going to pin that and say we must be very careful about this. To the modest Ecgberht, I have been corresponding with your Chancellor, Reeve Aethelgifu, and I must say that I have come to see you in a new light. Perhaps you are even someone that I one day would be proud to call my friend, Duke Withred. Witred? I think it's Witred. Saxon names are hard. Ooh. York's looking a bit weak. They're still fighting for the Mormodon of Ross. Interesting. And they're starting to lose, and they're defending against a peasant revolt. Can we go to war with them? Yeah, we could holy war them, but only for a county. Which is presently being controlled or besieged by the peasants that are revolting against them, so we'll hold off. I might try and holy war for the county of West Riding, though. Your culture has joined the early medieval era. Nice. We're going to keep a close eye on how Jorvik's doing here. Because they're losing both of their current wars and they're down to not very many troops. They only have 12 of the original special soldiers left that Halfdan starts with. Aethelberg, the daughter of my friend Reeve Aethelgifu, has given birth to a daughter. So, Thomas's second daughter. There's already one named after the maternal grandmother. So let's name this one after the paternal grandmother. How many men does this peasants' revolt have? They, well... with his allies, they don't outnumber them, but... Alba does outnumber his forces, at least. He's allied with Iceland, way up there, and Mun, as in the Isle of Man. They're doing pretty well. Whoops. Hello. I am out riding, my dog Snow beside me, when she suddenly runs off into the plains. My retinue assures me she will come back, but what if she doesn't? Well, they've assured me and I'm trusting, so I will be patient. Though they share common origins with other Anglo-Saxons, the clans living in northern Britain's lowlands have adapted to life in the rugged terrain. Diverging culturally and linguistically from their former countrymen, these Scots have enthusiastically embraced their new cultural identity. Will they be able to thrive on their own? So there's now a culture of Scots. Eventually, Snow comes trotting back, pretending that nothing is wrong. She is clutching something in her mouth, and as she gently places it before me, I see it's a couple of golden coins. Thank you. Right. If we want to improve our pastures, we need 213 gold. The crop fields is also 213. So we really need to get up to 613 gold before I want to spend that. Some months ago, Reeve Harold began an elaborate effort to clear marshland for settlement in Papworth. Heavy ploughs and fresh ditches make the ground firm, but it is slow work. Harold has now written my steward to request that his levy duties be reduced. Being anxious to complete the works before the next harvest, he hopes to instead recruit soldiers for labour. We're trusting, so take all the commoners you need, Harold. And we're going to grab a perk. We will grab Architect, just because it makes sense. We've already gone down that tree, so... Well, the AI did, but, you know, the character also still has. Ecgberht Bromhead is almost old enough. His birthday is the 26th of January. Leofwin has given birth to a son. This is Burgrid's second son. His first son is already named after me. So his second son will be named after him. Ecgberht is now old enough. Right, he's rowdy, so martial or intrigue. His martial is a base of 2, his intrigue is a base of 2. He could go either way. But we personally are trusting, so I think we'll go with the martial education, because intrigue's kind of against being trusting. And our son Ecgberht, his uncle, is probably the best person to educate him. How are they doing? Oh, they're down to very, very few men. But crucially, I want to take well, Ecgberht wants to take the West Riding because his dad, me, told him that that's where I'm from and tried to fight a war for it and failed. So, like, that's the target that Ecgberht wants to go for. And I don't want to do that whilst the Peasant Revolt is occupying it and only it, because then I'll probably end up making it harder for them. Although, he's lost to the Scots. It ended in a white peace against the Scots. Interesting. Alright. We're going to keep an eye on that, but we are approaching the end of the episode, so I think we're just going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please do comment, like and subscribe on the video. It does help immensely. I will see you soon for the next one. If you want to check me out on Twitch, feel free. The description will be in the link below. And if you want to help support the channel through becoming a patron, you can do that in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one, but for the time being, it's going to be War Dog out.